Happy Muk-jji-bba Day!
Happy Muk-jji-bba Day.
Happy Muk-jji-bba Day.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode. I'm Muk-jji.
I'm Brittany.
And I'm Judy.
So, surprise! This is our last episode of season 2.
Yes.
Surprise!
Wait, Max was like, you guys already had 2 seasons within the first. So y'all went fast.
Yeah, we like to keep everyone on their toes, and a healthy rhythm of rest and work is good. And so we want to implement that in our podcast as well.
Yes, ma'am.
And summer break, although it doesn't actually exist for us working individuals, mentally it's coming. Just the vibes. The vibes. So that's why we're taking a break.
Yes.
However, in line with that idea, we thought that it would kind of be cool, or not cool, but maybe fitting to have today's topic be more about moving on. So that can be in the realm of relationships, romantic, or even friendships. And also just different seasons of life, because we have recently, or I guess relatively recently, transitioned from college to postgrad life. And that, in a sense, requires moving on from this state of mind as a student, kind of protected, to thrown out in the real world. So thought it'd be fun to discuss that together.
Yeah.
Yup.
Recent transition, kind of.
Kind of. Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. But new job coming up. Yes. Very exciting. It's like a job I'm actually looking forward to.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Very good.
Not much else to add, but
Not yet.
Not yet,
TBD,
not yet.
soon to come.
Yeah.
Season 3.
Coming
Season
soon.
3.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's exciting. Yeah. I don't know if, like, I'm really transitioning. Yeah. What about you, Muk-jji? Do you feel like?
I think in terms of work, kind of, or it's like also coming soon. So our fiscal year ends June 30th. So that's when promotions also happen. And so this upcoming cycle, I think I am on track to be promoted to senior. And
Amazing.
so that is like a relatively big transition coming up.
Yeah.
Which is a bit scary to think about, but it's also crazy to think that I've been working for almost 2 years at this place.
Yeah.
So my friends and I always talk about how crazy it is, the fact that we're, becoming seniors and just the future ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's one big thing coming up in the summer. Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Wait, why? Why not?
I'm more fearful than excited.
Oh,
yeah.
why?
It's just because more work and more responsibilities.
Yeah.
That's what's scary. But I guess that's with any progression. So yeah.
You'll do fine. Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
I think you deserve it.
Do I?
Yes. Yeah.
I hope. Yeah. So hopefully all will go well.
That's huge. Oh.
Yeah. Do you guys feel like, now that we're in our second year of postgrad, do you guys feel like the transition is, I don't know, complete or still ongoing from college? How do you guys feel between last year and this year at this point of the year?
I hope it's still ongoing. It feels weird to say, no, I'm fully transitioned. Yeah, because deep inside, it doesn't feel like that at all. I feel not too different from when I first graduated. But at the same time, looking back, I did go through just a lot of different experiences.
Yeah.
So inevitably, I probably grew from those. But I still feel young at heart.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I get that. I feel like I have transitioned out in a sense where it's like, yeah, like college is over. That life is behind me.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, like bye. Like no more school. But yeah, I think it's also like I hope I'm still like transitioning, because I feel like there is so much. I feel like I've mentioned this before, but there's so much I don't know. And I think in some ways that's freeing, but also very scary. Yeah. And so, yeah, I hope I'm still able to like learn a lot more as I, you know, continue to, I guess, like really transition out of that phase of my life. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I do think it's a very beautiful concept, like, because you can never learn, you can never be finished with something.
That's true.
Yeah.
Until you die. Like that's,
You're right.
you're always learning, you're always gaining things, you're always
Right.
losing things too.
Right.
And that's
The
wonderful.
circle of life.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very true.
What about you, Edgy? How do you feel?
I don't know. I'm definitely, like you said, way past school. But I do think being at home still kind of
Oh, you're right. You're right.
I think I take too much advantage
Yeah,
of
yeah,
being
yeah.
at home, and so I think because I use the excuse of, oh, I'm too tired, I don't want to do anything else, blah blah blah, I've kind of reverted back to high school in a sense, when I'm at home at least.
Yeah.
Which is kind of bad, but yeah, I think because I'm at home too, I still think, oh, I feel like I'm still kind of a kid in a
Yeah,
sense,
yeah.
because, you know, I am working and doing grown-up things, but when I
Right.
come home, it's almost like a time
Right.
travel machine
Yeah.
almost every night. And I still wear like the same pajamas I've been wearing since high school. Things
Yeah.
like that. So in one aspect, I feel like nothing has changed. If anything,
Yeah.
it's more like what it was before college, because I didn't
Right.
come back home as often when I was in college.
Right.
Now I'm literally living at home.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm not complaining. I love being at home, but I'm wondering, perhaps I'm loving it too much.
Well, yeah, that's
Yeah.
so true. Yeah, I think I did think about that recently too. Just like being under my parents' care at this age. Of course, it's because like I want to save money.
Yeah.
And, like, low-key rent is so expensive
Yeah.
everywhere nowadays. Like I don't even know if I could afford it. But yeah, I do feel very much like just very comfortable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
super comfortable.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. I was wondering, is this, so far in our lives, would you say this transition has been the most significant, or were there other life stage transitions in the past that somehow had a bigger impact on your life?
I guess one is just like high school to college, because you're going from being under your parents' care to being somewhat independent. So I feel like that is a huge transition that really, I guess that's when you start kind of building yourself from that stage. But I feel like this stage right now of my life is probably the one that is the most like vital. I don't know. Yeah.
I agree. I think high school to college feels significant because you're literally in a new location.
Right.
But this one, because we're back home, like you said, I feel like I would have to try even harder in a sense to explore and try new things. But I haven't really. I think work itself is just consuming enough that it takes up, most of my week. So that alone, and also because I commute, I feel like that is enough. Like removal to do work and then come back home. So in a sense, I like that aspect where it feels divided. Like work is this location and home is this location.
Right.
City, suburb.
Yes.
Definitely a suburb girl growing up in the suburbs. So city life, just a couple of days of the week is more than enough for me. But I think it's a lot of just mental. Yeah, just, okay, the next time I move out, it is either, hopefully if I get married, it's like to move out if I get married.
Yeah.
Or maybe like a year or two before I get married just to live independently alone. But I feel like this season then, in a sense, should be me like preparing to be like really, really independent and managing the time and money that I am able to save while being at home wisely. but I don't think I have been, and I don't know how to exactly.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard because I'm just like, do what I have.
Yeah, like we're still young, you know?
Yeah. So I think that's kind of hard.
Yeah.
It's almost like living a double life in a sense.
Yeah, for sure. It's like, I think in some ways I feel the weight of adulthood, but it hasn't hit yet.
Yeah. I think that's exactly what it is.
Yeah. So I know people will like live in a different country or like a different city to just like experience that freedom while they're young and just try it out and challenge themselves. Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know if I want to do that.
Something funny at work. A team member said it was his birthday this past week, so we asked him, "Oh, how was your birthday? Whatever." And obviously, it's the new age, so he was saying how, 26 is great. And then he was like, "At 26, my mom was engaged, but me, I opened up Coachella lineup 2025." I just thought that was hilarious, but also such an, accurate, thing. And I was just, you were so right. But I inserted, times have changed. It's different.
It is.
And everyone agreed with me very vigorously. But I was just, oh my god, like 24. I don't know, like my mom and my dad when she was 24, and I'm like, I'm turning 24, and I'm still at home and just working, but also, like what my coworker said, we're all just we're trying to live our best lives. So I guess we can't put a timestamp on everything.
Yeah, it's crazy to think how like our parents were so young.
Yeah.
And just like the lives that they lived, I feel like are so different, from the life I'm living.
Also because all of our parents immigrated here.
Exactly.
That's just another factor. Where like can you imagine yourself moving to, I don't know, like France, where you can't speak the language and just settle down there?
Oh my gosh, no. Cannot.
Would you ever be a nomad?
Oh no, absolutely not.
I don't think I can do it.
Absolutely not. Would you?
No. I do romanticize every now and then. Yeah, but it sounds better than it is for me at least. Yes. Yeah.
For me too.
Elementary to middle school is kind of a big transition too.
Actually, you're right.
It was actually, I would argue it was bigger than high school to college.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why would you say that?
I think it's because my elementary school is very close to home, but middle school, it was far, so I had to take a school bus. So that commute in itself was very new to me.
For sure.
And I don't know what about it was so, wow, like this is huge, but it felt very different. Yeah,
that makes sense, especially if the commute is long at such a young age.
I think when I was in 6th grade too, it felt like such a big deal, also because some people went to this middle school and then other people went to this middle school. So I think I was just kind of worried about that because that was the first time in my life where I'm experiencing friendships quote unquote ending kind of, or just moving on. And so I'm going to this school with these friends, but these friends are going over there. Will I still be friends with them? I didn't. I lost friendship with them, but that's okay. So I made new friends at my other school, but at that age it was a big deal to me. And so I think in that sense, elementary to middle school did feel like a really, really big deal. And it's more like you have to really start taking it seriously. And I think for me also, because my school was 7 through 12, there was like I will be there for a while, and so that was I think another thing that played into start building up, gotta get into the math class. That's one grade, one level higher, and it starts now, and
because it's like you go up from where you start,
exactly,
and it's hard to skip over a course.
So
wow, just thinking about that, I'm triggered.
Oh my god, Yeah, no. Oh my gosh.
But yeah, I didn't think about that because I moved middle school, so I didn't go to the middle school that like directly transition into like I went to a different middle school. So when I think about that, and especially like puberty, your hormones, your body's changing so much.
Bad times.
Yeah,
Really, really ugly time.
literally. Like teenagers now, guys,
They look so good.
They don't look like teenagers.
yeah,
They dress better than me.
Yeah.
And I looked, oh gosh.
I was, yeah. So, yeah, you guys are right. It is very big.
You know the friendships you gradually lost? Do you ever think about rekindling those friendships?
No. Because out of the ones that we did move schools, maybe like one or two, I actually do still keep in contact with. So those are the ones that like matter and we still get along well with. But the other ones, it's like, I don't mind that I've lost them.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I think sometimes I do, but I'm not courageous enough to do it for sure. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not. Because I think college, I just feel like this time in our lives just changes us so much. I think even though I kind of see what everyone is like, what everyone's up to, it's still kind of scary to think about how different we might be. Yeah, I'm just like, oh, like, but the conversation go okay. Like, I don't know how. I think there's like too many like ifs and like questions. So I just, yeah, I'm not courageous enough.
More factors to think about.
Yes,
Than just, oh, let's play together if you were in elementary school. Yeah.
Yeah. I think, just this age and friendships is, I feel like, very important because I feel like the friendships you build now are, at least for me, like, I'm hoping that they last a very long time. And so it's also just like, oh, is this person going to be worth my time? And am I worth that person's time?
Yeah. So true.
Have you thought about it?
Yeah, because I think I thought about it more because in elementary school, I literally had only one friend. And we were like glued together. And we ended up going to different middle schools. And I attempted
Heartbreaking.
no, literally. Like, we had a graduation party, and we, like, cried. But I tried, we, like, kept in contact via email. But, you know, no one really, email's hard to go back and forth continuously. But, yeah, it sort of just fizzled out. But email was the only mode of communication I literally had. So I think I was a little hurt from that because I was like, oh, like, she knows this is the only way I can talk to her, but you know, shouldn't make that much of an effort. But I'm like, I mean, I get it. But I do wonder, but I have no way of, like, she, like, got rid of all her social media accounts and everything, so yeah.
Is your
I'm always
email
curious.
still active? That one
Oh,
used to...
my email, it is still active. I don't use it, but
Have you tried finding her on LinkedIn?
I actually have.
Oh, is she not on?
No, she is, but that would be weird, no?
Hey, LinkedIn is the new DM spot. Yeah.
Maybe. I did hear that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I know. I know. I
Slide into your link.
No, I personally know.
No way.
Yeah, that's where it started. Or there was like a real life interaction, and then he followed up on LinkedIn.
Oh.
And then like,
Ooh.
so I think LinkedIn is the new
That's
connections
hilarious.
beyond just professional.
LinkedIn just feels so like fake though.
Yeah. It's like, hey, I'm so ecstatic to connect with you.
So like so there was like a phase where I was like trying to grow my connections, so I kind of, if they look like a trusted person or we just had like one or two mutuals, then I would just like connect with them, and then they would send me a message like, hello Judy, it is so lovely to connect with you. And I was like, oh, this is so not me. I can't. So I don't know. It just feels so fake. But
Yeah,
I'm
I
glad
had that phase too. I wanted to get the 500 plus commission.
Oh.
Dude, I gave up so quick.
I was on a mission.
Dang. Wow. Well, glad it worked out for them. Though.
Yes.
Wow.
Oh, but you found her.
I did. Didn't connect with her, but
Okay.
yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe one day.
Maybe.
Yeah. Maybe she was also trying to find you too.
I don't know about that.
You never know.
Yeah,
you
I
never
never
know. Yeah. Maybe she also found you on LinkedIn, but she is also hesitating.
Maybe.
You never know.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but I've never run into her.
Oh, she's still in K-Town?
I think she moved. Oh, actually, I don't know.
Right.
She went to
There's not-
school in New York,
I see.
but I don't know if
Yeah.
she's back or not.
I see.
Yeah, I wonder like the people that we've interacted with and stuff like that. Sometimes I just think about them because I don't run into them. And I'm like, dang, is everybody moving on? I'm just like back home, like hee hee ha, like not.
It's true.
Like, yeah.
Am I doing something wrong?
No, I feel you. But I think a lot of my friends though have actually moved back, so it doesn't make me feel as FOMO in a sense of like missing out on that aspect of growing up, because a lot of friends are actually still back home too. And even at work too, in my team there was one girl, she is like a first year, and then I was telling her about like, oh yeah, like I have to drive down to OC, like I moved back home after graduating. She was like, oh my gosh, you live at home too? And I was like, oh yeah. And then there's another guy who also lives at home, and she's like, oh my gosh, I feel so validated, like you guys also live at home. And I was like, oh yeah, we all do.
Yeah.
So
You know what they say about you? Usually, most of the time, you don't know that. This is a little morbid, but you don't know the last, like that last moment is the last moment with someone.
Yeah, that's
like you might
true.
never run into them ever again in your life.
Oh, that is.
I think about that from time to time. Yeah. So they say make every interaction intentional, but that's hard.
That is
yeah.
hard.
Oh wow, scary.
It's true. I mean, you can say that about your own life. Like, this may be my last breath.
Okay.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
I see where you're going.
Yes. Similar vein of thought, you know? Oh my goodness. How about relationships and moving on from breakups, whether it be romantic or friendships, if you guys have had any? How have you guys moved on? Did you guys have coping mechanisms, or was it just like a
Is not eating a coping mechanism?
Yo, that was mine.
Me too. Yo,
It was bad.
It was bad.
It's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is that?
I don't know. I just lost my appetite at one point
me
when
too.
I.
It started off that way, and then I was kind of like, Gandhi, like I was like protesting. You know what? Might as well just lose some weight. You know, just like, it's like I'm sad, and the only way I can really express my emotions, starving.
Oh, like physically show it.
Yes. But I don't know why I wanted to do that. Like, I don't know.
Make it known that you're suffering.
Girl, it was known. I'm sorry. It was
No.
It was
at least between.
It was very.
But you know, I get that because my freshman year of college, after I got out of my like 1.5 year relationship, so that day, the next day, I like didn't eat, and then I was just like not hungry. I like was literally in bed like all day, and my friend like drove up to UCLA all the way from OC. Like she drove up to see me and everything, just like make sure I was okay. But I was like, oh yeah, I'm fine. And then after just one day of not eating, I was just not hungry. So guys, I dropped like 10 pounds in like a week or two, and then I started to get really dizzy. Every time I walk at UCLA, there's a lot of stairs.
Oh my god.
So I like be walking, I'm like, oh,
Why am I dizzy?
oh, like almost missed a step there. Could have been really bad. And then I was like, yeah, maybe I should like put more effort into eating.
Yeah.
And it was like so embarrassing because I would like.
Anyway, moving on from this.
Should we give context?
Oh, let's give context.
Oh yes, please.
So so Judy was talking and she was laughing, but then our downstairs neighbor was also laughing, and it was like a cackle.
Yeah.
It was very
actual cackle.
But moving on.
Judy, continue.
yeah.
You should put more effort
Yes, I was
into.
like, oh, I should put more effort into eating.
Yeah.
Because upperclassmen would ask for swipes, and then I would like sit there in front of my food. Like, it was so awkward. I felt so bad. Like, I remember I was eating with Christy, and she was like eating. It was curry at
Ronde
East.
Yeah.
And I took like 2 bites out of my food, and I could not eat. Like
Because your stomach shrunk.
Yeah, it just wouldn't take it. Like, I don't know. So I was like, I sat there. She was like, "Are you like okay?" I was like, yeah. But yeah, I started putting more effort into eating, and then I think I gained like hella weight after that, and then like yeah. But yeah, I don't know.
Oh my god.
Was that your only coping mechanism, would you say?
I did cry for like a solid day.
Dang, that's good.
Yeah, I just like stayed in bed. I didn't do anything that Sunday. I was gonna skip class the next day because I had like no energy. So I think I did skip my theory class. It was my 9 a.m. that I had like Monday through Thursday. But I went to choir because I was like, okay, I should get like my butt up. So yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to think about like anything else, but did you guys have any coping?
I had none.
mechanisms?
I just
Wow.
just a new day. I wasn't
You really? Yeah, I was actually. In retrospect, it's really impressive. Like,
no, but that's the thing. I'm like, was I just not sad? And like,
Yeah,
I just
maybe
didn't
you just-
care.
yeah.
Wow. I just no, because the only breakup I cried about, and it was literally just like a couple minutes, was in sophomore year. Like that was the only time I ever.
Yeah.
College?
Yeah. So I remember I was already sleeping.
Yeah,
And
that was like the night before my midterm.
Oh,
and so
yeah.
I was studying.
my
I called out.
Yeah.
Had the conversation.
and our other roommate Christine was also in the room.
Yeah.
And when I just opened my eyes, I just hear like. More sad than that. Yeah, and I just see like Christine and you like she's like doing this, and then eventually I'm like, what's going on? And then Edgy sits on
Christine, or your
my
bed,
bed,
because you were bottom
and then
bunk.
I'm just like,
Oh, I can
Yeah.
so imagine that. Brittany's like,
Because Christine had her desk like right behind mine because I was on the loft, and so she was still awake because she stayed up pretty late. And then we only had our desk lamps on because Brittany was sleeping, and then I came in, and then Christine had a box of tissues on her desk. I still remember it was a Hello Kitty box of tissues, and she brought it over to me, and then and then we just like talked. But I was like, okay, I have to go back to studying. And then got back to studying.
Yeah. And that was it.
Yeah,
That was literally it.
I respect you so much.
thanks, guys.
No, truly. Wow.
Yeah, I like.
You bounced back real quick.
I mean, what am I gonna do? I gotta live my life, you know.
It's true.
Dang.
That's true.
Yeah, and also, yeah, maybe I just wasn't that sad. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
maybe it's better that it ended, and it was better that it ended.
Yes.
Yeah.
Slay.
Yeah, another
Love that.
other breakup, like in high school, I did not cry. I hope he didn't cry. I don't think he would have. Or maybe he did. I don't know. But his friends were my friends. They were all a year older, but they all still went to schools together. And I think one friend texted me that he was kind of down for a couple days after. Kind of bad. But yeah. But that was it. Yeah. I mean, I was sad, like emotionally, and just kind of reflecting on the relationship. I was sad, but not to the extent that it severely inhibited my daily patterns, I think.
That's good.
Yeah.
What do you think is a healthy way to process through like a friendship breakup or a romantic relationship breakup?
I feel like
Just
they're very
curious.
different. They're very, very different. Something about friendship feels almost sadder
It does.
to me, at least,
Yeah.
because romantic relationship, you either get married or you break up. So it's kind of
Yeah.
like you kind of could have seen it coming in a sense, but a friendship, I feel like, is something you, like you said, expected it would last a long time. And so I think it would be kind of different to cope with it. Also because for romantic, at least, because most of mine were not like friends to lovers or anything, and so they were in my life for such a brief period of time anyways. And so it was easier to move on in that sense, because it was like, oh, I've lived most of my life without them anyways.
Yeah.
So
That makes
it's
sense.
kind of how I think about it. Yeah. And I feel like friendship, it's just like, especially girl friendships are just more, I don't know, it's just, like, I thought we were besties. I don't know, I think it would feel a bit more sad and like a bigger loss in your life. So to cope with them, I don't know.
I think in both instances, a healthy way is to just talk about it instead of bottling it in.
To grieve over them.
Yes. Yeah, acknowledge
Basically.
that you're sad.
Yeah.
Talk about it.
You genuinely lost.
Yeah.
Experienced loss.
Yeah. I'm trying to think about their coping mechanisms, but I think that's the first one that comes to mind.
It's interesting that you mentioned like the friends to lovers thing, because I've always gone from friends, like being friends with that person, to like dating them. And so I feel like I kind of mourn like both the loss of a friend and a relationship. So it is weird to think, and maybe that's why when I get out of it, I think about it a little bit more. I don't know.
I also think that was an interesting point, both of your points, because my relationship was not friends to lovers. Like, it was similar to yours, where it's like I just knew him from like a brief amount of time, but I felt like I lost a friendship as well. Yeah. And I think that's actually what I mourned more over.
Yeah, because when you're dating, you talk to that person the most. So you lose someone who you shared your life with and someone who shared their life with you. And so I think that aspect is sad. And you have like your own inside jokes and things that you got along with over, but you lose someone to connect with over that specific whatever. And so that is sad to lose that.
I also think I didn't really like talk to my friends about both of my breakups. I didn't really because like honestly, I think the saddest part is like, okay, in high school, this is probably also my fault because I was like young and I didn't know a lot, but so my first relationship, I lost a very like close friend of mine that I went to church with because like, long story short, like just like something happened that like he was also kind of involved in, and I think that just made it harder for us to like, it was just hard to like rekindle that friendship. And then in high school, like in like my senior year of high school, there was like someone else really close to at school, and then I ended up like losing like contact with her basically. And I think it was a lot of like, I didn't know how to balance my friendships and my relationship. I don't know what it was, but I think I was just like very caught up in my relationship when I was in them, at least at that time. And so I feel like the two people I trusted the most were basically gone by the time it was time for me to like break up with those people. And so it was just like weird because it's like, oh man, like I lost her, and then I lose him, and then I lose her. So it's just like, I think I never really got to talk to people about my like breakups and things like that. So I don't, honestly, it's like sometimes I'm like, oh, I don't know what it really means to like healthily process like a breakup. Yeah.
Do you talk to your family?
Yeah, did you talk to your sister?
No, guys. No. Yeah. I think first relationship, I was like, I tried really hard to just be like, oh, it's over. That's okay. And I think that's one of the reasons why, like, I don't know. I just was like, oh, I don't really want to, like, cry in front of my family and, like, talk to them about it. I don't want to, like, seem like I'm sad. So I'm just gonna, like get
Power
through it.
through.
Yes, exactly. And so I think I just did that with that relationship. And then my second relationship, my parents actually did not know about it. My sister found out through, like, another friend. But I think because my first relationship was, like, so well known amongst, like, our community, I really wanted to keep this relationship on the down low. I, like, didn't want anybody else involved in it. I just was like, I'm so done with that. And I think because of that, I just, like, didn't talk to my family about it. And, like, my sister kind of found out in, like, a weird way. And so she wasn't really, like, she wasn't the fondest. I don't know if that's the right word. But, yeah, she just, like, wasn't really approving of our relationship. Yeah, so.
I think for both scenarios, losing romantic and friendship, or if I have just, like, qualms about either, I think talking to my mom always helped because she just has more perspective on it, and I feel like she can see it from a higher level point of view.
Yeah.
And she's very logical and kind of just thinks through things without or she's also, because she's a third party but has my best interest in mind, she can think of things more objectively in a sense and kind of rein it and summarize things well for me. And so I think that's always helped me. Just to think, okay, it is a big deal now, but it will be okay eventually. You know, that kind of perspective always does help.
Yeah, I think I talk to my mom a lot too, and like some moments I'm super grateful for whatever she has to say and just her empathizing with me, everything. But when she says, like, one little comment that just, like, doesn't sit right with me, I'm like, what do you know? Like, you've never gone through a breakup. I'm like, that's not fair. You don't understand.
Wait, that's a good point. But thankfully my mom hasn't said anything to, like, tick me off in that realm. But now that I think about it, I'm just like, wow, how is she able to give without ever having broken up before?
Just maybe other friends?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Pretty
Maybe
funny.
that's also why I don't talk to my parents about it, because I'm like, what do you know?
Yeah, that's also true.
Yeah.
That's true.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think a good way to cope is to just be a baby. Like, I think it's like, as you might feel very, I don't know, like, selfish in the moment, just, like, annoying. Maybe annoying is the more correct term, but I think it's healthy. Yeah.
Babies are true to what they feel. Yes, for sure.
They do be crying.
Sorry. They do be.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why they don't have stress. They just cry it out.
That's true.
Wow. I feel like low-key I've lost my ability to, like, cry it out. Recently I discovered that, because I'm like, oh, I need a good cry. And then I'm like, where are the tears?
Were you able to do it before? Like, were you a big crier?
I think I still am, but, like, maybe not as much. I don't know. I feel like Edgy doesn't really cry.
You really don't cry.
Yeah.
I really don't. During certain times, I will. But, I feel like in general, I'm not the biggest crier. But sometimes, recently, I think if people are tearing up or they're crying, I might tear up.
You're getting old.
I'm getting older, or if it's like a mirroring effect. But, like, recently, some of my friends have like teared up or shown tears over different things, and I will, like, I'll cook with them.
Yeah, right.
I'll cook with them. So perhaps some at times I will cry, but yeah, I think the last time I feel like I'm more sensitive during busy season, so I will cry more easily. I definitely cry then. Once I'm out of it, I'm back to normal. That's just a very odd period of time. So I think anything will get me to cry when I'm in that season. Yeah.
Sure. Makes sense.
This is so random, but I realized that I like very easily empathize with people like randomly. In was it middle school or high school? I volunteered at like a hotline for teens, and we had to go through pretty intense training. And my training group, we like met pretty like late at night to talk about really heavy things, and obviously we have to share things too. And one girl, she sat next to me and she was eating chicken tenders.
Ooh, yum.
Yeah, it was pretty good from the hospital. Like, yeah. Anyways.
I didn't know. Sort of like Raising Cane's.
Like McDonald's, I don't know.
Yeah, but she was, I forget what she was sharing, but she was being very vulnerable, and I'm like starting to cry with her. All of a sudden, she's like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. She just got the chicken tender and starts munching on it, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm not sad anymore. Sorry, that's so random.
No, that's awkward. That's so funny. She's like, yeah, that was an awful period of time. Yum, yum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
And
That's so interesting. Funny. Have you guys actually gone through an official friendship breakup? Like, let's not be friends.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
I have. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Gosh, that sounds intense.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Did you cry? Were there any tears involved?
No.
Whoa.
No. I think it happened like towards the end of school. Yeah. Because this is high school. Oh, I think we have 5th period together, and then I was like, I think going home, because I don't think I had a 6th period at that time. But then she was just like, oh, I have like something to tell you. And then I was like, oh, okay. And then I think I kind of saw it coming though. Yeah, because like we were kind of growing distant. And then, yeah, she was just like, yeah, I just feel like this isn't like, I don't know, like we're just not as close and things like that. And I was like, oh, okay. And then we just kind of like ended it there. And then we just went our separate ways. And I think I was like, I don't think I really knew how to process things when I was like younger. So I was just like, oh, like, okay. Yeah. And I think in high school it's like, it's like just sometimes easy to find new friends. And so I just like had new friends, and I was like, hey. So yeah. You guys haven't?
Never?
Yeah, all my friends they were all just distance or different schools, or just naturally over time you just kind of lose contact with people you're not spending or seeing regularly. So I think they're all natural. I've never had like a conversation to end things. Yeah. Have you? Or you haven't either?
I've never had a conversation, but I did like just stop hanging out with a couple friends in middle school because I just felt like they weren't the healthiest influence on me, just mentally and just like community wise too. So that was actually a very intense period of my time because you said it's like relatively easy to make new friends. For me, it was not. I don't know if it was like the atmosphere of the school or like cliques were already formed, and I chose to like remove myself from a clique. So I just like for a good number of months I was just by myself, and I was like okay with it because I brought it upon myself, but it was lonely. Yeah. I don't know, I don't remember how exactly I got out of it, but that was when K-pop was really But K-pop was my coping mechanism.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, that's hard, especially in middle school when, again,
8th grade.
yeah, you're just
awful time.
And yeah, like especially when you're transitioning to high
Yeah.
school, everyone's like, oh, like see you next year.
Yeah.
Like it is hard. Yeah. That's a really big decision for a middle schooler to make. So I feel like you just go with the flow usually because you're afraid of what they're gonna think.
Yeah, but it was a great decision in retrospect.
That's good.
Yeah, but
Wow.
Yeah.
So smart.
Pretty courageous.
Yeah.
yes, bold.
Bold. We
Yes.
love bold.
Yes.
But if I were to do it, go back in time, I would have be more mature about it. You know, just not just remove because they were probably confused.
So one day, did you just stop sitting with them at lunch, for example?
I don't exactly remember, but I think so. Just one day, I just chose to eat by myself.
Wow.
Yeah,
And they never asked you about it.
exactly. So that's when you know they weren't
That's true.
the greatest friends.
Because then they would come up and ask, "Why aren't you sitting with us?"
Yeah.
And the fact that they didn't even ask.
Yeah.
I see.
But I never had bad blood with them. We were still friendly in high school.
Oh,
I just
okay.
never hung out with them.
Yeah.
That's good.
I see.
I feel like friendship breakups now would just be so tough.
Oh, I don't want to imagine.
They will be devastated.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oof.
Because I mean, it happens. It happens
it
so
does.
much around us.
Yeah.
And it's it sucks because I feel like it gets around in the community, you know? Everyone finds out about it. There's no way to really keep it on the down low. But
Man, that's tough because middle school, you have high school to look forward to,
Right,
but
right.
so your community changes. But
yeah,
right now, post-grad life,
it's none of that.
unless you remove yourself,
Yeah.
Move to
Yeah.
a different state.
then
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
you're gonna have to keep on seeing them, kind of.
Yeah.
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 I guess we talked a lot about coping and grieving, and that does play a role in the moving on aspect, but we haven't explicitly talked about, did we? The moving on
Part.
of the whole thing. So, do you guys have any thoughts about that?
I guess one thing to acknowledge is even if you've moved on, that doesn't mean you'll never think about that
Yeah.
ever again.
Right,
And
right.
so
And I think you should give yourself some grace.
Yeah.
Don't beat yourself up for thinking about it every now and then.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
So yeah. I guess how do you guys know you've moved on then? At least in terms of romantic relationships. I feel like this moving on from college to postgrad is still ongoing, so you can't really say we know we've moved on, but yeah, at least for that. Did you guys know? Okay, I think I'm good now. Was there a point in time?
I think gradually you just start thinking about it a little bit less. Yeah, less and less. And I think that's when at one point it's I haven't really thought about that in a few days. That's interesting.
Yeah.
And then I feel like it's mostly just time.
Yeah.
Time kind of just does its thing. And then I think that's when I realized maybe I am okay now. Yeah, and I feel like other times it's just I find myself being a little bit more comfortable talking about it with others because I feel like I'm not the type to be very like I said before, I don't even talk to my family about these things. I don't know if I'm really the type to want to process things with people. I usually like to have them processed before I open up to people about it. So yeah, I think when I start opening up to people, I'm oh, maybe I am a little more okay now. Yeah. What about you guys?
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. I also think when I do talk about it to other people and I find myself choking up, then I'm okay, yeah, I'm still, yeah, but one day it's just, that happened. I'm okay now. And I feel almost nothing. That's when I know I'm I have healed, more or less.
Yeah. Yeah, I think time, like you said, thinking less about it, and when I do talk about it, or if that era of time or that person somehow comes up in conversation is just another person or another story. So it's not, oh my god, like how could you, you know, it's not, how could you say that name? No, like, oh no, it's not really not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
It's just another person. So yeah, I think just putting less weight on it. I mean, of course, whatever happened is a significant part of your life and your story, but it doesn't, the past doesn't weigh you down now. I think that's the biggest thing. Yeah, it's just something I was able to say that I've learned from and I won't do again, or like I won't make the same mistake, or I would do that again, or you know, just taking different things from that period of time.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess it's time to grieve over season 2. Move on to season 3.
Yeah, we will certainly be doing that. I think season 2 was very different from season 1. Very, very different. But I think it was different for the better.
Yeah.
I think we tried different things and had different people, which was very fun. Very fun.
Yeah.
So for season 3, we will come back with more interesting topics and hopefully more guest appearances. Let us know if you guys have any transitions coming up or that you've recently experienced. Also, any comments or feedback or suggestions based on what we've done in season 2. If you guys have any specific ideas for season 3, please let us know, because we very much will implement any comments and suggestions. How do you guys feel? How do you guys? Great.
Yes. I really enjoyed this season.
Yeah.
I think we were also more vulnerable in a way. Which connected us with our audience a little better.
Hopefully.
Yes. So
I agree.
Yes.
Yeah. That's fun.
Yes, it was very fun indeed.
It sped by.
Yeah.
It really did. This one went by really fast.
Yeah.
I feel like faster than our first one. But we have similar amounts of episodes.
We have more.
We have more.
More this one. But somewhat similar.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, don't miss us too much. You guys can always go back to our older episodes.
Yes.
For those who only recently started listening, you have plenty of time to catch up now.
Binge watch.
Binge listen, whatever is your preferred mode.
Yeah.
But hope everybody has a splendid May. Happy spring/summer to everyone. And thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.